She's buying a stairway in. If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alone there. It's just a sprinkling for the May Queen.
Op dit keer de Telegraaf.
So what does that mean? If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, what's a hedgerow? Well, it's a hedge. It's like hedge goes around your yard. It's traditionally it was for protection. Nowadays people use it for decoration, but it's also for protection. It's like a living fence. Some people plant thorn bushes as a hedge. It's kind of hard to get through. A hedge is like for protection. If there's a bustle, that's a fast movement. If there's a bustle, fast movement in your hedge, your protection, don't be alarmed. It's just a sprinkling for the May Queen. What does that mean? The May Queen. The May Queen was always like, well, one of the biggest occult holidays of the year is May 1st, May Day. They have the maypole, which is basically a giant penis. And the pagan people are into fertility worship. Worshipping the penis is a big deal, as well as the vagina. And the pagans would usually have sacrifices for the May Queen. The May Queen was like the head queen. And the May Eve. May Eve is the day before May Day. That's April 30th, which just happened to be when this incident with Queen Beatrix happened. A sprinkling, well, it's like in baptism, they'll do a sprinkling in some religions. Like a baptism, it's a sprinkling. It's a blood sprinkling. It means a blood sprinkling. So this particular line is talking about blood sacrifice to the May Queen on May Eve for the May Eve celebration, which is exactly what this was. The town is called Apeldoorn. Apple has a lot of occult significance to pagan people. That whole song, Stairway to Heaven, has got all kinds of occult meaning. Backwards, it's got prayers to Satan. I'm not even going to get into that in this video. Note she's wearing a blood red dress. She's also wearing a red hat. That's significant. She's the only one wearing a hat. That's significant. That has occult significance. Black car, white bus, number 11. Finally found out what 11, the significance. How all this 11 stuff, 9/11. All these movies come out on 11, 3/11, 9/11, 11/11, 11/11, all this 11/11. Well, it's El, even. El is the Babylonian god of Saturn, which is what the chosen people truly worship, is this El, Saturn. Esrael, S is Isis, Egyptian god, moon goddess, Isis. Ra, Egyptian sun god. El is the Babylonian Saturn god. El even. It's two L's. It's like two letter L's even. It's Queen Beatrice, said to be the second richest woman in the world. This is one of the most obvious Illuminati-style sacrifices I've ever seen. People say, no, it's not the Illuminati, it's the chosen people. Well, I can pretty much guarantee you all the top members of the Illuminati are chosen people. I can almost 100% guarantee that. I don't have a list of all their names, but I'd be willing to bet good money that they almost all are. I know the top Bilderbergers are chosen people, or with close ties to them. Almost every member. I mean, there's a couple others that aren't. The bitch herself is a member of the Bilderbergers, one of the top players. But the Illuminati does exist. It's like a front for the chosen people. Lucifer's chosen, Satan's chosen. Some people say, is there a difference between Satanism and the chosen people? Not much, in my opinion. And this is so blatantly obvious. They're saying, well, it was an attack against the Queen. Okay, come on. If that car had hit the bus, do you think it would have hurt the Queen? How are you going to do any damage? How are you supposed to kill the Queen by running a little compact car into a bus? The car would be smashed, and the side of this bus would be smashed. Maybe she might get hit by flying glass and have to go to the hospital or something. That's about the worst thing that would happen. If you look at this, this is where this guy had to drive down to accelerate to this speed when he set up for his attack run. How did he know when to start accelerating to hit this bus? There's no possible way he could have done that without it being planned. Look at the bus. Look how this bus just sits there and doesn't move for like a minute or two and it finally starts very slowly. It comes to almost a stop, almost a complete stop. You tell me this wasn't set up? And look at the front of this car, completely smashed. How could this guy see to know where to aim? And he just happens to run into this obelisk. And see, that's the thing there. And Kennedy is assassinated. There's obelisks in that plaza where he's assassinated. It's always the same thing. And look at when they had their ritual a year later for these fallen people, and they said there were 7. This is for the 7 victims. There's 7 balloons, 7 white, 7 blue. Now that's all significant too. I'm not going to get into all that. But there wasn't 7, there were 8 victims, or 8 people died. But 7 was their magic number. That was their special number. So they had said 7 victims. There were 8 victims. See, it shows that this is all a cult. And look at how they put all this stuff at the obelisk. You know, it's all about the obelisk. People in the crowd said this guy was already slumped over and appeared to be, you know, when he was still driving down the street. That says to me, that this guy was probably unconscious. Now, how this car, I'm not even sure how this car could have gotten so smashed up. How could a car get so smashed up from these barricades? I don't know. Are those barricades that tough? Maybe they are. I don't know. But I tried to find video footage of him going through the barricades. I couldn't find any. You know, I'm sure these days everybody's got camcorders. How come there's not? I couldn't find a single bit of video that showed him plowing through the crowds. What happened to it? Where is it? You can't see anything from that angle. That would have showed what was going on. The reason that's all been censored is because it showed the guy was actually already knocked unconscious. It already smashed his brains in before they even put him in the car, and then ran the car down by remote control. That's my theory, and until I can find evidence otherwise, that's going to be my theory. That's apparently what they did with the planes in 9/11. They remote controlled planes. They weren't the original planes. They were some other modified aircraft. Could possibly have been something like Tomahawk missiles painted to look like planes. This guy had no prior criminal record, no prior indications of mental illness. Called his mother the day before and was looking forward to spending time at her birthday, which was 3 days later. It doesn't make any sense. And just another lone nutcase. Where have we ever heard that before? Did this all by himself. Just some lunatic just decided on his own, just go ahead and kill the Queen. Okay. They're making all this fuss about 2012, but 2011 is actually more significant. 11 is more of a significant day to these lunatics. They're really into this 11. I said that before. Now, But I'm sure in 2012 they've been hyping that up for a long time, so I'm sure they have some crap set up for next year. You can almost be sure that there's going to be some kind of disaster is going to happen April 30th, 2012. There's going to be some kind of crap probably going to happen around the spring solstice, April 19th to the 21st, somewhere around there. There's going to be some crap they're going to pull. Just another thing that's just going to happen. Just happened to happen. Look at all the things that have happened during that time. We got Waco, we got the Oklahoma City bombing. There's been many wars in history. I remember there were things about the Revolutionary War just happened to start on that date, on April 18th or April 19th. All kinds of stuff like that. April's called the month of fools, and there's the fool has all kinds of significance in pagan mythology. It's the first card of the tarot. You have these, the jokester, the trickster. I mean, there's all these demons are considered to be a lot of times trickster spirits. You've got Loki, the god. He's the trickster god, and ends up basically being the Nordic equivalent of Satan. And you got clowns. There's a lot of people think there's a lot of mysterious things about clowns. There are. You have the killer clown. You had John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown. That Stephen King doing a movie about the clown. So there's these people have a lot of significance of the clown, the tricks, the fool, the jackass. Balloons, has the word bail. That's why a ball is full of air. It's, it has to do, it's associated with bail, and bell, also bell. Balling, it's another word for sex. Having a ball, like the clowns give out balloons, and then balloons are what they had. 7 white, 7 blue. I got one. How about next April 30th we kill the queen? How about we sacrifice the queen? The king is along with it, all the queens and kings. How about we sacrifice all of them next April 30th? How about that for an April Fool's joke? That would be a good one. You ever seen these royals, notice they have all these medals on them? You know where they got all those medals? Well, undoubtedly it was for valor of unselfishly risking their lives to help others, right? No. It's for fighting dragons, yes. Single-handedly taking on a dragon, defending poor, innocent peasants from evil, horrible dragons. Well, I'm sure glad we got these nobles to take care of us. No. It's because there are members of all these little secret societies and organizations, and they're like the Masons, except these are usually higher level than the Masons that these royals are involved with. And they get a medal. And what do they do to deserve it? They're just born into it. They didn't earn it. Oh, look, she's so sad. Oh, she's so sad. These poor people got killed. Oh, what a tragedy. Jeez, I forgot my violin.
Wat begonnen is als een prachtige dag, is geëindigd in een vreselijk drama. Dat ons allen heel diep heeft geschokt. De mensen die er dichtbij hebben gestaan, die het hebben zien gebeuren op televisie, alle die het meebeleefd hebben, zullen met verbijstering en ongeloof gekeken hebben.
Not a bad actress, really. Of course, you got to realize she's been doing it all her life. It's part of her profession.